Hey, good morning, everybody, and it is the Mike Logan Show and the Morning Sports Report, both brought to you by Miranda Homes. More homes for less money. Find your new home today. Check them out at mirandahomes.com. I'm Guy Junker, along with Mike Logan. He'll be with us for an hour each and every week throughout the football season. Starts tonight with the Cowboys and Giants. Of course, everybody around here, Mike's excited about the Sunday. What an opener, too, a Sunday night game against Denver. Ben Roethlisberger was talking the other day about it's a different team, it's different people. The playoff game isn't in his mind at all. He may think that way, but I heard more guys up at St. Vincent with a burr under their saddle about the way last season ended. I think this game does mean more, and I think that playoff loss did not sit well with a lot of this team, more so than a lot of other playoff losses over the years.
Well, Ben Roethlisberger is right in that this is a different football team. Both football teams had a lot of turnover, some different changes in key positions. But as a player who played in that game last year, that feeling sits in the pit of your stomach, and it just lays there the entire offseason until you get an opportunity to redeem yourself. This is going to be their first football game for this year. It didn't matter who the opponent was. It just happens to be the Denver Broncos. Whoever was on that team last year had to deal with that through the entire offseason. Now that it's the Denver Broncos, they have a new quarterback. Tim Tebow isn't the guy who's at the reins right now throwing 316 yards against you, but it's an elite quarterback, an MVP, a Pro Bowl type quarterback, and Peyton Manning, who's trying to keep his career going right now. And what better way to come out and prove it against a hard-hitting team like the Pittsburgh Steelers? So he's going to be charged up. You know that those guys are going to be charged up, and that's a long time to sit with a defeat the way they were defeated in the playoffs last year against the Denver Broncos.
In your career, did you ever open the season against the team that eliminated you the year before in the playoffs? Did that ever happen?
I think I did in Jacksonville, and I think it was the Titans, and they had our number one year where they just completely obliterated us. That was the only team we lost to the entire year. I think we were 14-2, and we had just lost to the Titans. I think we opened up with them. But as a player, every year you sit and think about the last football game that you played in. And if it was in the playoffs before your season ended, you think about that. And not necessarily so much the team that you played. I think it's a little more personal for the Pittsburgh Steelers this year in which way, the way they lost last year. But you sit with that. And anybody who's a professional football player, you know that feeling. And to have to deal with that the entire offseason, it weighs on you. The thing for the Pittsburgh Steelers is they can't allow that to affect them, that carryover to affect them this year when they come and play the Denver Broncos. It is a new year. It is a new football team, but you can't let that carryover weigh you down.
What is more difficult, having a new offensive coordinator and a new offense, or bringing in a new quarterback? What team has the bigger adjustment to make, do you think?
I think the Pittsburgh Steelers have the bigger adjustment to do just for the simple fact that Ben Roethlisberger likes to control things. He likes to have a nice rapport with his offensive coordinator. He had that with Bruce Arians. He hasn't established that with Todd Haley yet. So it's going to take some time for those two guys to come together on the same page and really iron out what they want to do as an offense. I know Todd Haley has his philosophy. Ben Roethlisberger has his philosophy and the way that he handles this offense and what he's comfortable in. And you like to see him very comfortable because we know what he can do as a football player and a quarterback when he's comfortable in calling the offense. With Peyton Manning being such a student of the game, and he's basically like
you're not
a coach.
Bringing a guy in that's played 3 years.
Exactly. I mean, he is an offensive coordinator. He goes out there and he's at the line of scrimmage. He's changing things up. He's getting people lined up. He understands the game of football. So even though he's going to a new team, Peyton Manning has been in this league long enough, and people look at him like as he's a coach or an offensive coordinator anyway.
Does he talk to himself in the headsets?
I think he does. I think he goes out there, he asks a question, he answers the question, and then he just spreads the knowledge out there. I mean, the guy is truly that smart. I can remember playing against Peyton Manning and ended up getting an interception, and it was something. Brent Alexander got hurt. I ran into the game, came in a cover one situation, and we had a disguise going on. And I remember going up and actually just popping up into a position and getting a pick. And you can see his mind at work right away as soon as he got the pick. He went over to the side. You can see him pointing out different things. I almost felt like he wanted to come over and ask me, like, what coverage are you in right now? How did you deceive me to know that I was going to do this? His mind is just always at work. And you can see that when he comes up to the line of scrimmage, he's already thinking about the plays that the defense is running. Not only does he have to handle what the offense is doing, he knows what's going to happen. He knows the adjustments almost before they happen. So I wouldn't worry too much about Peyton on the mental side of it. I do think the physical side of it, when you got a defense like the Pittsburgh Steelers who runs this zone blitz and guys coming from everywhere, that he may be worried about taking that first hit, that blind side shot from, Lamar Woodley, Chris Carter, those guys who are on this defense, Larry Foote coming in up the middle. How is he going to react to that? And I think that's going to be the thing that's most looked at this game as far as Peyton Manning's play is.
How many other radio shows in town or anywhere else has one of the hosts intercepted Peyton Manning?
Exactly. Funny story about that, though. Intercept Peyton Manning, and you know how you
didn't go over and ask him to autograph the football.
No, I wanted to. This is the thing. This is the thing when you have your family at the game, and I did keep the football because it's like that's Peyton Manning. You want to keep those footballs, but I lost it when I put it in one of those cases, and I usually if I get a game ball, I would give it to my charity and donate it at one of the raffles or things like that. And you would keep certain ones that really meant something to you. And I mixed up the footballs. And my father came home and he's looking at my trophy case. He says, "Where's that Peyton Manning football that you had?" And I'm looking around and I'm thinking, I only had a handful of interceptions in my career. I got to make sure I keep these ones. I misplaced the ball. Now, I do think it's in my storage bin, and I did mark it, so I'll be able to find it, but I have to go through that storage bin and find that football, unless Peyton Manning just wants to send me another football, and we can just, put that one in there and say that was the football that I intercepted.
I hope he sends a couple of the current Steelers secondaries way Sunday night. It's the Mike Logan Show. It's the Morning Sports Reporter here on Trib Live Radio.